Now that we've got our animations downloaded, we can now start importing these into Unreal. Now, I'm going to start a new project for this because I want the third person template. What I'm basically going to get us to do, I'm going to get us to edit the existing third person character, just so we haven't got to go through the process of actually coding this. If you've got your own third person character set up already, it'll still work the exact same way. Okay, so I'm just going to name this tutorial project. Make sure that third person is clicked, and we're just going to create the project. Okay, there we go. Right, before we start here, what I always say to all my students, I always go up to Window to load layout. I always select the UE4 classic layout. I just think it's far more easier and manageable to have your content window underneath your actual viewport. Okay, so here we are. If I play the game now, obviously I'm going to be controlling the default character in Unreal, and we're going to change this over. So instead of the default character that Unreal gives you, we're going to be controlling our character. Once you do that, you can then use your character for whatever you want to do in your game. Okay, so let's go over to our content folder, and I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm going to call it My Characters. I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to make another folder for my specific character. Because remember, just because you're uploading this character right now doesn't mean that in the future you may not be, or you may not want to add dozens more characters. So it's always good to keep these neat. So I'm going to call it Beeps, because that's what I was calling my my robot. I'm going to open that up. Alright, once I've got this here, I'm going to start importing. Now remember in the last video I said about calling this one base skeleton. That's because that's the base skeleton for my character. So make sure you drag this one in first. Just pick it up, drag it into the content browser. I'm not going to change anything on this menu. The only thing to make sure that this is correct on your side, and it should be, make sure that the skeleton is showing nothing. It should say none. So if for some reason that is giving you a skeleton, click that drop down box and click clear. You want that to say none so it can create its own skeleton. Once that's done, I'm going to click import. Just going to ignore the little error it's given us there. And you'll see that's generated these assets. Now if we drag one of these in, let's give it a go. Just going to drag this asset in. When I play the game, there's my robot. And you can see it's got physics, the physics assets are there. It reacts with the skeleton. You can see it's all attached. Perfect, that's really good. What isn't so good, and you could see this from the Mixamo viewer, and you can also see it right now. This has no longer got the properties from the materials that I originally set it, which I did say was going to happen, so it's something we knew was going to happen, so let's address this first. Now mine's quite simple. All I did was add metallic values to each of the materials. So I'm just going to go through in Unreal and re-add these. So I'm going to start with my primary metal. Nice and easy, I'm going to hold one, and I'm going to say, let's plug that into metallic. I'm going to say 1. I want full metallic. Perfect. Now, if we just bring this down a little bit lower here, and I click on save, you can see that's applied that metal texture to all of the parts of the body that I was on. So, I'm going to close this one down now, and I'm going to do the same for the secondary. Plug that into metallic and say 1. Click on save. Wait for it to apply to the world. Give it a second. There we go. I definitely should have saved this on my SSD or M.2 rather than my hard drive. And now the back ones have also got the metallic properties. Let's go to the tertiary metal, the lighter one. There we go. Plug it in. Full metal, please. And save. Let's have a look. Perfect. Now you can see that the face metal is a little bit nicer. Looks a bit more appropriate. It's perfect. Now I added this stripe because I wasn't sure if I liked the stripe there. So originally I wanted the stripe to be the tertiary colour, but I wasn't sure if I liked it or not. So I just highlighted it and put it in the same color as the primary. Maybe you can let me know whether or not you think the stripe should or shouldn't be there. But for now, let's get rid of it just by setting it to the same material. So if you just watch it, let's have a look. There we are, perfect. You can still see it slightly there. Let's close that down. Alright, now the ones that are a little bit more complicated is the reactive ones. So I'm going to make these glow. So nice and easy. I'm going to hold M for a multiply node. I'm going to plug the color into A. I'm going to say, let's give it a glow value of, let's just say 5 for now to see how that looks. Plug that into emissive. And let's have a look what happens. Let's not do that. Let's have a look what happens. Amazing, it really comes to life. It starts glowing. You can see all across all the body where all the different parts are glowing, which is really cool. Awesome. Alright, let's do the last one, which is the white glow. Exact same process. Multiply. Plug it into emissive color. And let's give that a little bit brighter. We'll say 10. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to actually see this amongst the other glow. You probably won't see it at all. But it does give me the options to maybe change those later on. So if I want to have it in a low power mode and the glow turns off, then you can have the background maybe glowing. So you can see it a little bit, especially if you go closer, but I imagine from further away, yeah, you wouldn't really notice it. You can sort of see it, that's cool. I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's my character imported. All working. If I look at it now, still falls over because it hasn't got anything to really stand up yet. But you can see that looks a lot nicer. It's got that metallic sort of shine to it. Awesome, happy with that. Alright, once we've done that, we can start importing the animations. I'm going to give it a quick save just to make sure it keeps all these assets. I'm going to then make a new folder and I'm going to call it animations. Let's open that up. Now I'm going to do this one by one. I want to make sure this all goes in one by one. So let's start with the idle. Drag it in. Now this is different from the import last time. This time I want to make sure that I select beep space skeleton or whatever you've called your skeleton. Make sure you don't select any of the other ones. We want this skeleton, the one that we imported. I'm going to say import. And you can see straight away, there it is. If I double click it, there's the animation and it's playing. So let's go back and do the same for walking. Drop down box, select the correct skeleton and import. Double check, perfect, there's my character walking. New one in, select the correct skeleton, import, amazing, there's my character jogging. Next one, import skeleton, correct skeleton, import. There's my character running. And final, let's put the jump in, select the correct skeleton and import. And there's my character jumping. Perfect. So, follow these steps through. Give yourself as much time as you need to import all the animations that you want. Make sure that you've applied them to the right skeleton. You'll know straight away that they're not applied to the correct skeletons because you'll see the wrong icon down there. In fact, I imagine the rig is very different. The rig that we've got for our characters is very different to the one that's used for the Unreal mannequin, so I imagine it won't even let you do that. So just make sure that's done correctly. Make sure that you've applied all those materials and you've got it as you want it to look. And then once you've got all that done, you're ready to move on to the next video.